There were 13 heads, and it was purported that the Navajo, the Anasazi, the Mayans, the Aztec each had one. The most famous one is the Mitchell Hedges skull, which was found in the Yucatan by Anna Mitchell Hedges. She reached into a cave. She was with her grandfather, and it was around 1926, and she reached in, and there was an oilcloth covered item in there, and she pulled it out and opened it up, and there was the two-piece detachable jaw Mitchell Hedges skull. The Hewlett-Packard engineers did a test on it in the 60s. They said it could not have been carved by a lapidary, by tools. It had to have been polished over hundreds of years, over centuries, to get to the shape that it was. So they said it was a polished item. So there's the Phyllis Newman skull named Max. She has to put it in the closet because it talks to her. Then there's the Mitchell Hedges skull that's in Indiana. People said when they walked into the room and she uncovered it with the cloth she kept it in, that there was an immediate feeling of well-being and healing coming over. There's one in Mexico City. It's got a cross stuck right in the top of it, which is, that would shatter a crystal if you did that. How that cross got there, I don't know.
Crystal skulls have been a subject of fascination and mystery for many years, and there are several stories and legends associated with them. Here are some of the most well-known. In some legends, it is said that the crystal skulls were used by ancient civilizations for divination or communication with the spirit world. It is also said that they possess consciousness or intelligence that allows them to communicate with humans. The legend of the 13 crystal skulls tells that the skulls contain advanced knowledge and technology that could help humanity unlock the secrets of the universe, and that they may be linked to the ancient astronaut theory, which suggests that aliens visited Earth in the past and had a significant impact on human history. The Mitchell Hedges crystal skull. This is perhaps the most famous crystal skull, which was reportedly discovered in Belize in the 1920s by explorer F.A. Mitchell Hedges. The skull is made of clear quartz crystal and is said to have been carved by ancient Mayans. It is believed to possess healing and mystical powers. However, some people have claimed that the Mitchell Hedges skull was not actually discovered in a Mayan ruin, but rather was purchased at an auction in the 1940s. They suggest that the skull may have been created in Europe in the 19th century, and that its supposed association with ancient civilizations is a myth. What is interesting about crystals with piezoelectric properties is that they convert sound waves into electrical signals, or vice versa, and their ability to generate an electrical charge in response to mechanical stress, or conversely, to deform in response to an applied electrical field. It may be a coincidence that the skulls have these properties, but one thing is for sure, the crystal skulls remain a subject of fascination and mystery.
Legend of the 13 Crystal Skulls. According to Native American legend, there are 13 crystal skulls that are the same size and shape as human skulls, and that each skull can hold the knowledge of a whole civilization. According to legend, the secret of the skulls will be revealed when the original 13 skulls come together to form a global grid.
People claim the crystal skull has given them premonitions or visions of the future, but there are many people who believe that the Mitchell Hedges crystal skull was actually made in ancient times, originally as a healing device.
A healing device? Is it possible that the Skull of Doom can actually have the power to save lives? According to one woman, the answer is yes. Los Angeles, California, July 13th, 2004. A local singer and costume designer named Phoenix Rising is going about her workday when, out of the blue, she's struck with an intense migraine headache. And although she has a lifelong history of migraines, for some reason, this one feels different.
I went to the emergency room. I said to the nurse, something is going on. She put me in for a scan, and when she came out, her face was white as a ghost. And literally it was 3, 2, 1, and paramedics, everybody, boom. IVs, the whole thing, and I was having a brain hemorrhage. So I spent the next 2 weeks in ICU. They were trying to figure out how in the world I was alive, breathing, being able to see, being able to walk.
After hearing about Phoenix's condition, a Native American Pueblo elder who claimed to have once been a keeper of the Mitchell Hedges skull offered to send her a piece of quartz that had been kept in close proximity to the crystal skull for some time.
He got me on the phone. His name is John Francis. And he said, I'm going to send you a quartz crystal that's been charged from this Mitchell Hedges skull.
Engineers who looked at Hedges' skull, they said that the only way the skull could have been designed the way that it is if it was polished over hundreds of years, because any other way would have cracked or broken the skull. And that concept, that idea that something could have been polished down, a crystal could have been polished down to make that shape over a very long period of time, that's also very strange.
HP, Hewlett-Packard, who did a study on it in the 1970s, I mean, they're a computer company. They're coming from the standpoint of microprocessors, right? They're coming from the standpoint of trying to understand crystalline structures in computing and technology. And I think it is really interesting that they investigated this skull.
It is.
Their results, what they found, was contradictory to the Smithsonian. Here you have HP who says, well, we didn't see any cut marks with our microscopes on this stone, where Smithsonian says they saw cut marks on it. But then also they say that because they don't believe that there was anything before. And we just go back, well, the hunter-gatherers, I mean, they couldn't do this. So they would have to do it over this time period.
Right. The engineers are saying it had to have been polished because it's the only way they could have seen that type of thing to be done. But they have no idea of what a technology was like in a previous civilization, if there was one.
Right. So that doesn't even enter into the discussion. It's just how did modern humans create it? Hewlett-Packard, they're just trying to figure out scientifically like how they can use these types of things more effectively. So they want to investigate it, while the Smithsonian is more interested in a narrative.
Ever wondered why so many mysterious crystal skulls have been unearthed around the world? These objects are said to possess paranormal powers, with some even believing that they contain information about ancient civilizations. The mystery of the crystal skulls dates back centuries and has been discussed by scientists, archaeologists, historians, and spiritualists alike. The most famous example is the Mitchell-Hedges skull, discovered in 1924 in Belize by Anna Mitchell-Hedges and her father, Frederick Albert Mitchell-Hedges. It's believed to be between 5,000 and 35,000 years old. This striking object is made from a single piece of quartz crystal, and its features, including eyes with movable jaws, are so finely crafted that scientists have been unable to identify the tool or process used to create it. The skulls appear in many myths and legends across different cultures. Some believe that they house an ancient wisdom given by extraterrestrials, while others think they may be linked to ancient civilizations like the Aztecs or Mayans. So, have you ever wondered?
Monks that pass away or that have achieved quote-unquote nirvana or whatever, people will find sarira left in their body, crystalline stones that get found in their bodies that no one else has. Non-monks don't have these, but monks will have these. And it could be Christian or Buddhist or whatever. We're not talking about a denomination here. No, the Chinese think that it's exploded energy. Crystal, rocky type of substance. Such an interesting phenomenon, you know?
Like I said before, we've seen in data where a person, a human, that literally gets so pure of mind that it transforms through their whole body. Their body transforms into complete crystalline light, total crystalline light form. Finding the crystal is really curious in these people who have died that way.
It's considered the most mysterious artifact in the world. Nobody knows who made it or how it was made or when it was made. Perfectly made in two pieces. They separated the jaw. The molines line up from the top to the bottom. It has lenses and prisms that are built inside of it. If they're inside of it, who put them inside? Because to do that, it would take zero gravity. If you put a light underneath it, then the light comes up with that 90 degrees turn and shoots out the eyes. It's piezoelectric quartz. It's the same kind of quartz they make computer chips out of. With the technology that they've come up with now, they're able to store light bits of information. When you store them in crystal, they'll be there forever. There's more to our history than we know, and they found no tool marks on it anywhere.
Created some 11,000 of your years ago in an Atlantean province that you now know on your planet as the area called Guatemala. But that skull was copied, and in copying it, allowed the configuration of the original master skull, the energy of that skull, to be duplicated so that it can be carried around to different places. The master skull never leaves its origin point, but its representative can be taken around to imbue other areas with its frequency. The skull you see before you today, that which you have called the Mitchell-Hedges skull, is the duplicate of the master skull. This then allows you to tap into the vibration of the original Atlantean master skull, even though the skull physically itself is not present with you and has not yet, as we said, been discovered, but will one day be uncovered. For now, you have this skull as the initial duplicate that allows you to tap into the origins of this as it was created and as it was utilized by a council of 13 in Atlantean times that spread around the planet over time, taking with them sharing this vibration, sharing this skull, traveling to and fro